Give us a mic check, please.
Level.
Say something.
Which one? Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody plugged in? Like voice. I've been trying.
One more level, huh, Greg?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Left, right.
Some white balance.
I'd like to welcome all of you here to the Mansion Inn. Too bad Don Rothschild couldn't join us today. He's on vacation. It's an historic moment. Finally, Sacramento has something to do with Major League sports. Not as much, probably, as most of us in the room would appreciate. I'd like to introduce first and briefly the head table. You'll be hearing from some of these people very shortly. To your right, Steve Sitt. To your left, Mike Gattuso, Kerry, and Robert Cook. I'm Greg Van Dusen. For those of you whom I've not met, there are a couple of you out there. Briefly, you all are aware, certainly, that yesterday it was announced in Kansas City, Greg and Joe were there, that Sacramento, a group of Sacramento individuals has purchased the Kansas City Kings of the National Basketball Association. A brief chronology of the steps that transpired in the negotiations. It was April 26th, I believe, when we found out that our bid to acquire the Indiana Pacers was unsuccessful. It was that same afternoon when we directed some individuals to pursue the Kansas City Kings. They did so. The first face-to-face meeting took place, I get my notes here, in Kansas City, May 22nd and 23rd. Then they sent their attorneys and accountants out here May 26th to go through some rather elaborate procedures. Then on May 31st, Greg and Joe flew back there with Ulmer to do some further negotiating and stayed until June 2nd, and which is when the post-sale went into escrow. Then Greg and Joe, of course, were back there the 6th and 7th of June for the announcement yesterday. Obviously, we're very pleased to be involved in the National Basketball Association. It's a good time to get into the NBA for a variety of reasons, which will probably come out during the course of this, not the least of which are their recently negotiated, not yet fully written and signed agreement with the Players Association, which for the first time probably in professional sports, you've got players and management working toward a common goal, which might not be a bad idea for all of business. Also, the NBA now is solidified, if we may have the luxury of counting ourselves, 4 franchises lately, counting the Gunn brothers in Cleveland, the Simon brothers in Indianapolis, the new infusion of capital in Salt Lake City, and now the Kansas City franchise. We think the NBA is just on the verge of a very exciting period in their history. And to talk a little bit about why we're getting involved, the first speaker will be Greg Lukendahl.
Last Thursday, a week ago today, June 2nd, 1983, a day that will go down in infamy. A group of us Sacramento businessmen entered into an agreement to purchase the Kansas City Kings basketball team of the National Basketball Association. Perhaps a business transaction over 1,000 miles from Sacramento will wake this community up. Sacramento is a city with a potential for a great future. It is also a city with an identity crisis. I have come to learn in the last 5 years that sports facilities are not the only problem facing Sacramento today. One of the largest media markets in the United States has no cable television. River City has no marina. And despite all the publicity, Sacramento has, in fact, not been able to attract any major businesses or electronics companies to locate in Sacramento itself. My travels across the United States I have learned that Sacramento's identity crisis is reflected in its national image. The confusion on major issues facing Sacramento has hurt this city dramatically over the last few years. Today, the city of Sacramento faces a $15 million deficit. Yet tens of millions of Sacramento dollars go to the Bay Area and to other areas for tourism and recreation every year. The Sacramento Chamber of Commerce and Mike Seward have been fighting hard for Sacramento and its citizens. It's been a tough fight. SACTO, led by Alan Ewan, has done a fantastic job attracting businesses to this area. He too has had a tough battle. Most of the major businesses that have come to this area have located not in Sacramento, but in adjacent counties or cities such as Roseville, Woodland, Placer County, and Folsom. We, the citizens of Sacramento, need to help the Chamber and to help SACTO to further our community and to get ourselves out of debt as a city. Sound like I'm running for mayor?
Yeah. There's an opening. I'll vote.
It's been rumored that Sacramento lacks modern sports facilities. It is a fact that Sacramento can be a major league city. It's a fact that we have the 20th largest media market in the United States. It's a fact that 7 NBA markets, several Major League NFL football markets, several Major League Baseball markets, and soccer markets are substantially smaller than Sacramento. Major league sports can dramatically improve a city's national image. It can attract hundreds of millions of tourist dollars into a city, generating significant revenues for city coffers and create thousands of jobs. We do not have that opportunity in Sacramento today. We have no facilities. We believe that with cooperation, and by working together, Sacramento can have every major league sport available in this country by 1990, given proper facilities. Successful businessmen today are men with a very high code of honor. We live up to our commitments to our community. We do what we say we're going to do. The truth and honor are the foundation of success and the foundation of successful businessmen. Kansas City is an area comparable in size to the greater Sacramento area. It's a magnificent city. It has 4 major league sports franchises. It has 4 major facilities there. And its business and government leaders are the finest that Joe and I have ever come in contact with. Our purchase of the Kings is subject to NBA approval in New York later this month. That approval does not and will not involve any move now or in the future of that team to Sacramento. As I stated earlier, we are men of honor. Yesterday, I stated in Kansas City that we would honor the Kings' lease with the city. We will. We have no intention of moving the team. We are going to make every effort to improve that team and to do our best to keep it in Kansas City. I stated that if the Kings improve in attendance and financially, they will remain in Kansas City. We meant it. We sincerely hope that comes about, and we are going to do our best for the people of Kansas City. The fact that Sacramentans own a major league team in another city has nothing to do with the issues facing Sacramento. We believe it is time for Sacramentans to start recognizing this area, our own hometown, my hometown, for what it can be. It's time for the people, for business, and for government to start working together to improve on our community. We are seeking cooperation from the mayor, the city council, the board of supervisors, and all segments of our citizens to work together to improve Sacramento. Together, we can become a great city. I'd like now to introduce my close friend and business partner, Joe Benvenuti.
Thank you, Greg. I just have a short statement prepared here. Kansas City is a fantastic place, and it is a beautiful city with fine people. Business and government work very close together, and Kansas City, they work very close together to improve the city with parks, fountains, and sports facilities, and also new business and new developments. Yesterday we attended a press conference and a cocktail party in one of the fine hotels there, and we met with 8 members of the City Council and the Mayor, Richard Berkeley. We were treated like royalty, and we were given a tour of their 30-story City Hall and a tour of the city. We spent more than 5 hours with the mayor, and he personally saw us off on a jet last night in Kansas City. And we promised him and the people of Kansas City that we would do our best as businessmen to improve the Kings' performance in every way and keep them in Kansas City. And we meant it. In return, we were invited to bring our development and construction operations and some of Sacramento building designs to Kansas City. We have been offered incentives and a fair price on the redevelopment land right in the middle of town. And also for other good spots around the city. We looked at several parcels that were very reasonable, and we made a commitment that we would go there and develop. We were very impressed with these people and their sincerity toward welcome us to Kansas City. We are going to take them up on their offer, and together with the Lucan Bills and Bob Cook, we expect to open up business in Kansas City. We expect to start 2 developments in Kansas City as soon as possible. And I can assure you that we will be honorable businessmen in Kansas City, and we will be good sports businessmen there also. We hope maybe someday soon that we can have the same kind of cooperation here in Sacramento, and we will also be true to Sacramento if we have that opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll break down the ownership percentages for you here briefly, and then you can have at these gentlemen with any questions that you may have. Jones, 50%. Lucanville Enterprises, which is Greg and his father Frank, who apologizes for not being here today, at 25.5%. Bob Cook, 19.5%. Stephen H. Sippa, those of you that thought it was Stephen B. Sippa from yesterday's accounts from Indianapolis, it's H. Or from Indianapolis, where is that? From Kansas City. And Frank McCormick, that's an ACK on the end of that, each have 2.5%. Now, any questions that you gentlemen, ladies have?
Well, mine is franchise in Kansas. What does this mean to Sacramento?
It's Missouri.
It's not quite clear to me.
What does it mean to Sacramento?
Yeah, what does it mean to us? You gonna move?
Play any exhibition games in Sacramento, no.
Greg Lucanville's.
For the NBA, was there 3 years. Franchise in Kansas City fell apart under the subsequent management. Axelson has been back now July 1st. It'll be 1 year, and their performance in the year that he was back was considerably better than the previous year. And if they continue to improve, if you have a successful business, you don't mess it up.
How long are you going to give them, and how much do they have to improve to stay in Kansas City?
Those are details that we really haven't worked out at this point. They have 2 years remaining on their lease, and we do know that that'll be honored.
Who wrote Mr. B's speech?
Joe and Greg.
I was a citizen of this country, Bill, leave him alone.
Jim.
Maybe, I was gonna say Dutchess maybe in Brooklyn.
I heard that on TV last night. You gotta get you somebody to give you a little fresh script every day.
I need to say right as they do.
Just how solid is this commitment of yours? Is it just good for the 2 years of the lease, or is it good for the indefinite future, or what? I mean,
No,
as
it's
far as
specifically,
Kansas City.
it is specifically as was stated. If the team continues to improve on the field and at the box office, or on the court and at the box office, they will remain the Kansas City Kings.
Well, why are we all here?
Jack, you're here for lunch.
That's the only man I know in all of Sacramento that complains about a free lunch.
Judgment.
That's a good question.
No, I don't believe so. I really don't believe so. What we do is what we do, what they do is what they do, and the two the twains don't necessarily meet.
Yeah, but it's kind of, well, yeah. I'm sorry, but that's.
That's okay, Jim.
I
You don't have to
withdraw the
apologize.
question.
You didn't
Jim?
ask a question.
Yes, Jeff.
You made an allegation.
All right, you good.
It's an allegory.
Judge, in Kansas City, are you gonna just make periodic visits, or are you gonna have somebody there for a month at a time for the whole season, or what?
We've
Either Lucanville or Bienvenido.
we've discussed that on a variety of occasions, and at this point, we haven't worked that out.
Dutch probably will go back there as it stands right now.
For how long?
One day at a time.
Yeah, right. One day at a time.
Greg,
I have no idea.
Well, what do you, no, I mean, all season, would he be back there?
He might be back there for innumerable seasons.
Will he have an administrative post back there?
Yes.
What title?
Haven't worked that out yet.
You have a general manager now, and that's gonna remain.
That's correct.
What
They have an
makes you-
excellent operation there. Good people.
What makes you
How
think
much
it could
money
be
did they
successful?
lose?
Wasn't. What can you bring to that team that they could not?
Dutch Van Dusen.
That's a good answer. Kind of a,
Oh, yeah, we said that.
no, I'll take care
No,
of it.
boy.
The universal, I think, business rule, and that is that outside ownership of a franchise has better success than local ownership.
You can get an argument on that, Greg.
Well, we're going to try it out, Bill. We don't claim to be experts.
Greg, I'd like to know your commitment to Kansas City now that you've bought the team. Obviously, your interest is still here in Sacramento as well. You own land here, you live here. Obviously, you'd like to buy a team and bring it here. Does this mean if you keep that team in Kansas City, does it mean that you will try to buy another team and bring it to Sacramento?
It's no secret that we've been trying to get some sports facilities built here. We think they're badly needed. At the same time, we commonly, all of us have a goal to be instrumental in bringing every major league sport to Sacramento someday.
Okay,
That
but
is not necessarily going to be the Kings. Business is business. If the
as
Kings
of now, you're
improve,
excluding the Kings. Does that mean you will buy a second team and try and bring it here?
oh, I think that's every bit possible, but that's inconceivable at this point. I'm not saying we're going to buy another basketball team. We may go out and buy a football team or a baseball team. The point is this. This chicken or the egg argument, it's ridiculous. We have a team. So what? We have no facilities.
Greg, if City Council were to rezone your property tomorrow, would you begin building a sports complex there immediately? Or
Excuse
as
me?
soon as possible? If City Council were to rezone your property in North Natomas tomorrow, would you begin building an arena there?
Absolutely.
Zero
And a
facility.
stadium. And soccer. Soccer would be here yesterday if we had facilities. We're larger than 7 existing NBA markets and several baseball and football markets today.
This question, if you were to, with the property that you have between I-5 and 880, if that was to be rezoned and you were able to build, for example, there, an arena, and
You know, truthfully, instinctively, you're dealing with successful businessmen. My instincts tell me that we can turn the Kings around. This new NBA agreement makes a hell of a difference. And we believe that we can get the Kings to make money in Kansas City. In which case, we won't. Characteristics are Portland.
Muley has approved.
I
this and
haven't
that.
talked to him, and really, there's not a whole lot to talk about. We have no facilities here anyway, so what the hell? We're 1,800 miles from the
But I
Golden
mean,
State
have
Warriors.
you talked to Franklin Muley about the possibility of this becoming an NBA city? If so,
Indirectly, the response has been extremely positive. He is excited. He thinks it could be great for Golden State. Little competition up here like they have down south. and in other cities, New York.
So he's, at this point,
Chicago,
he's not,
Milwaukee.
he wouldn't be opposed to it. He wouldn't be opposed to Sacramento having a franchise.
No, my understanding is very, very positive at this point.
No, you're not,
No.
but you had a little breakup with your Canadian partners.
Not a bit.
Not
Not a bit.
Are you still associated with them?
No, we had no breakup.
You're still associated with it?
No, we bought them out.
When?
Greg, would you consider building an arena
I touched
in a
the nerve,
downtown
I
site?
No, you didn't touch no nerve.
Touched an irrelevant nerve.
I hit a nerve. Huh? I'm in a-
Yeah, I've given that some thought today, especially in light of what's been written in the newspapers.
Greg?
Jim, let me get this guy. We're gonna try and get some sort of
Okay, don't waste my time.
downtown arena, I think would cost the taxpayers a bundle, not to mention, one minor problem being accessibility. Biggest problem with facilities is accessibility. And this, you know, in order to do it right, you put a stadium and arena together. You need a
You're gonna go to the NBA, the meetings after you get final approval. Did they either phone you or have anybody there during the negotiations to indicate that there would be no problem with approval?
We've had some discussions with people in the NBA, not talked to any of those gentlemen.
Had anybody out of O'Brien's office talking problems with the sale?
Everything at this point, preliminarily, is 100% positive.
You have had some positive indications from them. There will be no problem, right?